There's something magical about the taste of homemade tomato sauce, especially when it's a recipe passed down from generation to generation. Grandmother's tomato sauce is a timeless classic that brings comfort and nostalgia to every bite. Families fight to keep the recipe a secret sometimes. Do you like the taste of authentic tomato sauce? Or do you prefer the store-bought ones? What do you think the secret ingredient is that makes a sauce great? If you have a hard time making your own tomato sauce, don't worry! In this video, we will guide you through the step-by-step process of making your own version of this beloved tomato sauce. From selecting the right tomatoes to adding the perfect blend of herbs and spices, we'll help you recreate the flavors of your childhood and keep the tradition alive in your kitchen. This secret recipe has been in my family for generations and was passed down to me by my grandmother. So before we start, let me tell you about the ingredients and other requirements for making this incredible sauce. To make my grandmother's tomato sauce, you'll need the following ingredients: 2.5 kilograms of ripe tomatoes, 1 large onion, finely chopped, 4 cloves of garlic, minced, 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, a half teaspoon of black pepper, a quarter teaspoon red pepper flakes, which is optional, fresh basil leaves, chopped for garnish, a slice of lemon. For this recipe, you'll need a large pot, a wooden spoon for stirring, a blender or immersion blender, and a fine mesh strainer, which is optional for a smoother consistency. Now let us start making this tasty sauce. The first thing you must understand about cooking is that cooking is a slow process that requires a lot of patience and effort. So make sure you have both of these in abundance before you begin your venture. Let's kick off the cooking process by focusing on the most crucial step: prepping your veggies. And when it comes to making my grandmother's tomato sauce, the first order of business is to get those tomatoes ready. To begin, we want to ensure that our tomatoes are clean and impurities-free. So I'll start by giving them a thorough wash under cold water, removing any dirt or residue. Once our tomatoes are squeaky clean, the next step is to remove any unwanted parts like stems or blemishes. Doing this ensures that only the best parts of the tomatoes go into our sauce, enhancing the overall quality and taste. Now comes the interesting part. When it comes to the seeds, there's a bit of a personal preference involved. Some people like to remove them for a smoother texture, while others, like myself, prefer to keep them intact for that added texture and visual appeal. If you decide to go for a seedless sauce, gently squeeze the tomato quarters over a bowl, collecting the juice and seeds. However, if you're feeling adventurous, keep those seeds and see how they contribute to the final outcome. It's an exciting experiment that allows you to compare the difference in texture and flavor between the two variations. I personally recommend keeping the seeds in because the flavors are enhanced in the sauce. Remember, cooking is all about experimentation and discovering your own preferences. So feel free to try both approaches and see which one tickles your taste buds. Whether you opt for a silky smooth sauce or one with a delightful burst of texture from the seeds, the choice is yours to make. Now that we've got our tomatoes prepped and ready, it's time to delve into the next steps of making our grandmother's tomato sauce. Let's continue our journey in the kitchen and uncover the secrets of this timeless recipe. Now, I'm going to take a pan and we're going to pour some olive oil in it. We're going to wait for the olive oil to heat over medium heat. Then we'll add our chopped onions and minced garlic, stirring frequently until they become translucent and fragrant. Keep stirring as we saute the onions and garlic. I love the fragrance of sauteed garlic. It smells heavenly, don't you think? Now, in about 5 minutes, your onions and garlic will look caramelized brown. So now that we've sauteed our veggies, we're going to add the main ingredient, which is our tomatoes. I'm going to add the prepared tomatoes to the pot, along with any collected juice and seeds. Stir slowly and increase the heat to medium-high. Keep stirring and bring the mixture to a simmer. As you can see, our sauce has simmered a bit, so I'm going to reduce the heat to medium-low and let it cook uncovered for about 30 minutes while stirring occasionally. This will allow the tomatoes to break down and release their juices, creating a flavorful base for the sauce. My grandmother's ultimate cooking advice was that slow and steady wins the flavor race. The longer you take to cook, the tastier your food will turn out. It might seem challenging at first, but she insisted on falling head over heels for the art of cooking. Now, next we have to blend the sauce. So as you can see, the tomatoes have cooked down. We will remove the pot from heat and allow it to cool slightly. Now, I will blend the sauce using a blender or an immersion blender. We need the sauce's texture to be really smooth, like this. If you prefer a smoother consistency, pass the sauce through a fine mesh strainer to remove any remaining seeds or pulp. Return the sauce to the pot. Next, we have to properly season the sauce. Now, this is the most important aspect of cooking. Keep a spoon in hand to keep tasting the sauce and changing it accordingly. So first, I'm going to stir in the sugar, salt, dried oregano, dried basil, black powder, and red pepper flakes to make it a little extra spicy. These herbs and spices will enhance the flavor profile of the sauce and give it that classic Italian taste. Feel free to adjust the seasonings according to your personal preference. Now, we have to simmer the sauce again. So I'm going to place the pot back on the stove over low heat and let the sauce simmer for an additional 30 minutes to an hour, stirring occasionally. This slow simmering process allows the flavors to meld together and intensify. Let me just taste it and see how it tastes. Yummy! This is exactly how a tomato sauce should taste. Now, we're going to add a special ingredient to this sauce that's going to enhance the full flavor of the sauce. You can use a little bit of lemon or maybe vinegar. Add half a lemon to the sauce and stir continuously. Keep stirring till the sauce arrives to a smooth consistency. Keep tasting and adjusting the sauce to your tastes. Before serving, give the sauce a taste and adjust the seasonings if needed. If it's too acidic, you can add a pinch more sugar to balance the flavors. If it lacks depth, a dash of salt or a sprinkle of dried herbs can do wonders. Remember, cooking is an art, and your taste buds are the ultimate judges. Here's a tip. If your sauce is too thin, you can thicken it by adding a slurry, which is a mixture of cornstarch or flour with water. Similarly, if your sauce is too thick, you can thin it out with a little broth or water. Keep simmering the sauce till you achieve the desired consistency. Once the sauce has reached your desired consistency and taste, remove it from the heat. Ladle the tomato sauce over your favorite pasta, such as spaghetti or penne, and toss gently to coat. Finish with a sprinkle of freshly chopped basil leaves for a burst of freshness and color. You can put the rest of your sauce in a glass jar and tightly pack it stored. You can have it for the next few days, adding it to your spaghetti, pasta, and other dishes. Make sure you store it tight and keep it in your refrigerator till you use it. Making grandmother's tomato sauce is not just about the ingredients and steps. It's about the memories and traditions that come with it. By following this recipe, you can recreate the magic and flavors of your childhood, keeping your family's legacy alive in every mouthful. Experiment with different types of tomatoes and adjust the seasonings to suit your preferences. As you cook, you may find yourself reminiscing about the moments spent in the kitchen with your grandmother, adding a touch of love and nostalgia to each batch. So gather your ingredients, roll up your sleeves, and embark on a journey that transcends time. Share this recipe with loved ones and create new memories together. With grandmother's tomato sauce, you can savor the taste and the cherished moments that have shaped your family's culinary heritage. This is my grandmother's tomato sauce recipe, but you can make it your own in any way you like. Try it out and let me know how it tastes. If you like this recipe and our video, make sure to like our video. If you want more yummy recipes, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to find another recipe every week. We'll see you again with another recipe.